This is Capital Ideas TV. Coming up, the CEO of Glance Technologies muscling in on the mobile payments market. The head of Drone Delivery Canada charging toward commercialization. The CEO of Bee Vectoring Technology, a disruptive way to pollinate crops. And contributor Fabrice Taylor, how to read between the lines of sketchy news releases. If there's one emerging technology that's turning heads, mostly upwards, it's drones. Once a preoccupation of hobbyists, they're quickly becoming a very real possibility as the delivery system of the future. What's more, regulatory clearance is fast approaching, and that's why investors are herding into Drone Delivery Canada. The company is one of Canada's few publicly traded drone service operators, and it's making major strides in pre-commercial test flights. Its machines have successfully flown missions beyond the visual line of sight, laying the groundwork for an autonomous fleet of carriers. The drones have also grappled with rough weather and challenging geographies, and they've been up to the task. As a result, the partnerships have been flowing. Drone Delivery Canada has struck deals with an eclectic mix of clients, from plumbing suppliers to healthcare suppliers and more. That's led to an impressive run-up in the stock over the past 18 months. CEO Tony Benedetto discusses what his company is doing to scale up ahead of the regulatory approval expected for drone deliveries. Tony, you were in Moosonee recently along with your team, and you've got this deal with the Moose Cree First Nation. So explain what you were doing up there and the importance of this.
So we've been working with a variety of different communities. One of them is the Moose Cree First Nations, and working with the regulator Transport Canada, and they granted us a certificate to actually commence some test flights and start gathering some data as we look towards moving towards commercialization next year. And we assembled a group. About 9 of us went up, and we performed a lot of data gathering and some very successful test flights.
In a tough environment.
Very tough environment. We probably experienced 3 seasons in 4 hours in a day. We experienced 60-kilometer-an-hour winds in some cases, or gusts, extreme cold temperatures, snow. And with watching it, we actually saw the river freeze up in front of us. So very extreme climate.
A lot of news and events for Drone Delivery Canada recently. Another deal arrangement you have is with Wolseley, the big plumbing and heating company out of the UK with a big Canadian operation, and TECSYS, supply chain management company. We interviewed the CEO several weeks ago. So what's the importance of those two deals?
As we continue to move forward towards commercializing our platform, we're looking to assemble the right kind of partners in different kind of verticals, whether we're talking about retailers or distributors such as a Wolseley, or healthcare providers such as TECSYS. It's really about finding key players in different niches of the market where we can bring our technology to fruition.
And these kinds of arrangements, let's say with Wolseley, are you planning on depot to depot or warehouse to warehouse? That's what they're looking to do?
They're looking to start in a depot to depot methodology. The starting point is going to be Northern Canada, and then slowly as we gather more data and execute missions, then we're going to start looking with the regulator, trying to move the technology closer to more of a suburban and then urbanized area after the fact. Something
else that you've been up to is going to the United States. Every now and then you have a U.S. listing now, and an over-the-counter listing. So what's the importance of that, and what kind of reaction are you getting from U.S. investors?
So we started getting a lot of interaction based out of U.S. customers out of the U.S. And we said potentially there's a big market for us here. So we went to the U.S., started presenting our technology to the market just as an educational process. And we had very strong acceptance. There's no selling. There's a buy-in. They understand that this technology is coming. And whether we're talking about funds or high net worth or retail type investors, there's a very strong appetite. So we're slowly developing this market and just putting more eyeballs on the company.
So you have first mover advantage in Canada. Do you have the same thing in the US, or are there similar companies to you there?
We have a very unique solution both in Canada and the US. Our strategy has always been focused on the software and the systems versus the hardware. And what we're slowly starting to see is that we have a real advantage in North America, if not globally, based on the technology we've been able to assemble and test within the Canadian geography.
You recently raised about $15 million. What are you going to use that for?
So part of the $50 million is really to assemble a small testing team to explore opportunities outside of Canada. One of the markets is the US. the market, we believe, is the right place to go, and simply take our technology and just execute it in a different geography.
Now, our viewers and subscribers have been following Drone Delivery Canada's journey since, well, going back to last year when we first talked. We had a cover story on you guys in the Digest. We were in episode 4, I think it was. Here you are again.
Yes.
So keep the journey going. When is commercialization? You're on track?
So our goal is to obtain our Compliance Status Operator Certificate by Transport Canada this year. That's the goal we have. And then move towards commercial pilot for next, and then commence layering in commercialization from there. So it's very close on the horizon. We're very confident of that we're doing the right things to get to where we need to be. And to date, we've hit every one of our milestones, and we look forward to hitting everyone else going forward.